Lawmakers in Canada and Scotland have pointed to the US as an example of failed coronavirus containment.
Here's a summary of the article.
Several foreign lawmakers have pointed to the United States as a failed example of what coronavirus containment is supposed to look like. In Canada, Ontario Premier Doug Ford is wary of reopening the US-Canada border on July 21 due to the rising cases in multiple US states. The U.S. had 2 straight days of record-breaking daily coronavirus cases. On Thursday, the U.S. announced more than 39,000 new coronavirus cases, breaking the single-day record of 36,000 cases it set the day before, according to data from The Washington Post. Sturgeon posted a chart highlighting the rapidly increasing cases in the U.S. and wrote, "Here's what's happening in USA just now. If we don't take great care, it could happen here too." The U.S. has the highest number of infections and deaths of any country with close to 2.5 million cases with almost 125,000 deaths as of June 26. The growing number of cases in the U.S. has prompted the European Union to say it'll likely bar Americans from traveling to its member states, The New York Times reported on Friday.
This post received a score of 61,000, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
These stories just remind me of 2015-2016 when presidential nominee Trump was saying the world is laughing at us.
We aren't laughing now, bro, we are just genuinely worried.
Yeah, it was funny in 2016, but now it's scary.
Failure implies you actually tried.
Good point. This administration succeeded if the goal is to divide Americans, kill off poor people, and pretend like nothing happened.
You forget all while hiding the whereabouts of $500 billion in relief money for businesses and untold other schemes and money grabs. We are watching the country be looted during a humanitarian crisis. The rule of law is dead.
Speaking of schemes and money grabs, they did all of this while sitting on huge tax breaks they gave themselves. Remember back when that was a big deal? Bankrupting America and running up a debt for someone else to fix, so the wealthiest in the country, and foreign investors, could further enrich themselves.
While we complain and distracted about unsolvable systemic issues, the institutionalized grifters in the 1% waltz away with billions in taxpayer money.
There's more than 1% of Congress, Senate, and DOJ in the over $500 million club, and the ratio gets higher if we add the lobbyist and judges. No matter what letter comes after their name, the Green Party money is at the wheel.
Question: if the Dems took part, could they release the comprehensive list of aid recipients retroactively? Will we ever get the transparency of seeing this list? We all know 100 mil is supporting Trump's endeavors.
Which aid though? I mean, I have a couple of links that cover the history of bailouts on one scale. Then I have this other link that also shows past bailout info, but if the what's new and navigate to the current list through the recent $2.2 trillion, and this is a pretty interesting read all of its own as a side note. Transparency isn't really the US Gov's way of life.
Thanks. I'll take a dig, smiley face.
If you want to see some shit, here's what the newly nominated Judge Justin Walker has to say after his campaign was funded with 2 donations totaling $35 million. About being a judge. The Senate hearing the day before about Russian investigations still ongoing. And Rosenstein's testimony is also worth the 3 hours watch. Both parties admit and agree our country is fucked, but lawyers have a way with words.
Only those 2 countries. That's a problem.
Greater than only those 2 countries. No for Iceland just today had to put over 300 people in quarantine due to a female football player from the USA that had COVID-19. Think about it, 4 teams plus those watching this are the places that Iceland is getting the most trouble from in order: USA, UK, Denmark, not Færøerne or Greenland.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.